Welcome back here on Live Impact News on the WCNC Charlotte app. All right, so any minute now, I say any minute now, any hour now, in a couple of hours.
Hopefully soon.
The North Carolina House is expected to go back in session. So the North Carolina General Assembly back today in Raleigh. They got a lot on their plate, including potential changes to election laws and the controversial hemp restriction bill that Miles Harris was here talking about yesterday on Live Impact News. But some pretty big issues on their agenda. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay, covering all things politics, covering this.
A lot going on today.
Walk us through all of this, Julie, or
as much
as you can.
Reasonable in the few minutes I'm here. I think that the big picture today is they're back after a couple weeks break, but of course the end of the official legislative session is August 31st. So they only have a couple weeks left to kind of get some of those final things wrapped up, particularly before the November election. So we've got kind of two deadlines we're thinking about here: the end of the session as well as the looming election itself, where some of these people will be up for re-election, and so they're going to want to get in whatever they can now. So that includes, of course, this hemp bill. There's a couple things happening here, and I know Miles broke this down in more detail yesterday, but the back and forth is generally between Republican supporters and some law enforcement supporters. They say they need more safeguards, particularly to protect children from these. At the same time, businesses say this bill goes too far. They're down for safeguards, but this would essentially just delete the industry, especially when it comes to THC beverages. So that's the back and forth happening there. We could get a vote on that as early as today, but of course the House is not going into session until 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So we'll update as quickly as we can,
Right.
but it's a late day today. And then at the same time, there are multiple bills making potentially sweeping changes to elections. One in particular, 958, House Bill 958, would allow for people to I'm trying to figure out how the best way to word this is, challenge individual ballots 3 days after the election. So there is a process now for if voters have a challenge to a ballot, they can do that, but it's more narrowly defined. Is there got to be some sort of procedural issue with the election that caused you to do this? The way that this new bill is worded, which this has been in the works for over a year now, is that basically anyone can make any claim to halt a ballot for at least a time being for up until 3 days after the election. So what we could see, I talked to some advocates that say, what we could see is just kind of en masse ballot challenges, which would delay even further the certification of some of these elections, depending on how many ballot challenges there are. I've been in here probably about 30, 40, 50 times talking about the Jefferson Griffin versus Allison Riggs.
Which lasted months.
That example, of course, is a larger one. But some of the voter rights advocates I talked to say, that could cause that kind of situation on kind of a larger scale. So, of course, at the same time, it's kind of a similar situation of Republicans say this is for election security, election integrity, but at the same time it could have unintended consequences that Democrats are raising. And so there's multiple things that could have really big impacts for a lot of different people that either could be voted on or they could just not get to it. So this week is going to be a big waiting game to see what they actually get to.
Yeah, and they don't have a long time.
No, they do not.
They don't. And I feel like time and not enough time, or the lack of time, is sort of been the theme here lately.
At least we have a budget, so.
There you go. We
There's
have
that.
a budget. We have a budget.
Gotta look on the bright side.
So we could take that off your plate of things to talk about the budget.
For now.
For now. Julie, when can folks catch your story this evening?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Julie, as always, covering all things politics. Thank you for stopping in.
Thank you.
All right, let's head to break, guys. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes here on Live Impact News.